right now, man, if I can figure out a structure so I can have a plane, y'all won't see me living in here anymore.
Yeah.
If I get my
You go
pilot's
over to
license,
Buenos
decide-
Aires and just live it up. Have you ever been out that
I
way?
just need to be able to get back to my family.
Have you ever been out to like Puerto Rico or Mexico?
Oh, yeah.
For real? Talk about that.
Bunch of time. Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
Oh, I've been in there. I used to go every summer as a kid. Shout out to my grandparents.
Oh my God, you haven't talked about that at all. Let's wrap that up with a quick Puerto Rico story because
All right.
we're over 2 hours.
Oh,
We're almost at 3 hours, I think.
Chill.
Well, 2 hours of
yeah, because we
air.
stopped and took a break.
Sure.
But yeah, I went to Puerto Rico as a kid growing up a lot. Because my grandparents, actually my grandfather, it's not. They actually have the
Are
same
you Puerto
currency.
Rican?
Yeah, I'm Puerto
Okay.
Rican and Jamaican.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're half.
But their currency is the same as us. Let me just put that out there. They run the U.S. dollar, their U.S. territory. They get no right to
I think
vote.
Jamaica's the same, right?
No. They have.
Oh,
their
Puerto
own
Rico.
currency.
Yeah, you know, it is
They
U.S.
have-
territory.
They
That's
have
right.
no right to vote. We monopolize them as a port for our goods.
That's
we tax the
weird.
shit out of them. We give them no support.
Shit.
No storm relief, no support. They get nothing from support from the USA, but we demand the most from them. Let me just put that out there. So,
How did that all come about?
because we wanted to create a port that we could control so nobody could come into the United States with foreign goods. So we
Gotcha.
made that Puerto Rico as the United States. And then what they did is they made some crazy treaty pact where Puerto Rico somehow had no rights. And long story short, it's never been lifted. So like Hurricane
Wow.
Maria and all those storms, like
Wow.
they got no hurricane relief from us. I couldn't go to half of the stuff that I saw as kids was demolished and couldn't get cleaned up because they had no support.
Mm.
But Puerto Rico's so beautiful, dude. So
I've heard good things.
clear water, white beaches.
Heard the food's
I-
pretty bomb, too.
Food's bomb. No, I'm gonna say like anywhere you go, you
Mhm.
go out of the tourist area, expect some backlash.
Right.
I don't care who you
yeah.
are. Go to any country. You go out of our tourist area, expect some backlash.
Yeah, I'm going to Mexico in January.
I'm just saying, you know,
I'm stoked. I've never been to Mexico.
but I have family in the gutter of Puerto
Living out there?
Rico. I'm talking dogs wilding,
Like, there's a lot of stray dogs and shit.
stray dogs, animals like lizards the size of this table that climb trees. and-
Iguanas and shit.
Yeah, dude, it's like
Kimono dragons.
my uncle, shout out to my tío Ruben, dude, he had like 10 or 15 horses all my life growing up. He named
Wow.
horses after all of his nieces and nephews. He taught me how to ride horses bareback. Actually, this is a good quick clip story. I went out there for an entire summer. I got busted smoking a cigarette, and my grandfather is very pastor oriented. He was a pastor for like 30 years. So you go out there, you went to church every night.
Yeah.
So they were like, "Oh, you want to smoke cigarettes? We're gonna kick that habit real fast." And they sent me to Puerto Rico at like 14 for the entire summer by
Yeah, I know.
myself, no language, and I knew Spanish but very little.
Smoking
And-
was more of an American thing. I noticed the same thing in Portugal when I lived there. Like people, you joking about it, they'd be pissed. I remember doing it with like a lollipop, and they're just like, no,
yeah.
no.
So I get down there, and every day I maintain the horses' stalls, everything. And then after church, my uncle would let me go ride bareback.
No way.
So I rode bareback the entire summer. I learned how to like clean horse hooves and mane, and brush them out. I cleaned stalls the entire summer, everything. I was up at 5 a.m. every day, like 13 or something like that. And I remember getting knocked out by one of the horses because a horse will know if you're afraid of them, just like
Mhm.
anything. They'll know if you're intimidated. And there's this one horse.
Dude, I hate that because I feel like they do know that.
They
I've
know-
been
they
behind a
know through
horse,
and
and I'm
through.
like
So
so
now-
scared to get kicked
now
by
I'm-
one.
Honestly, now I'm not afraid of any animal. I respect every animal, but I
Yeah.
do not show fear to an animal because the animal will read it.
Yeah, and it freaks them
So-
out.
So I was afraid of this horse, and I was getting ready to swap horse from field to field.
Yeah, yeah, right.
And I was pulling him out, and he comes running like I clip him, and as soon as I clip him, I gave him a little distance to walk him out, and he just headbutts me in the back of my head, knocked me out clean.
Oh,
Shit.
Jesus.
I'm sleeping inside the stall, and the horse is rolling around, flipping, causing a stir with the geese, the pigs. My uncle comes running in, "Motherfucker, man, you can't be afraid of the horses, man. You gotta show the horses those balls."
Yeah.
And he's like grabbing the horse by the face, and he's like, "Come here, motherfucker, man, you gotta." And he's all like thick, thick like gangster accent because of the Puerto Rican and the English and stuff. So when he talks, he's always
Yeah,
like,
it's all over the place.
he's always like Tony Montana.
Yeah, half
like,
Spanish, half English.
yeah. So he, he after that though, he showed me, it was like, you can't show any animal fear or they'll take it.
Yeah.
And then actually
well, it's kind of like a sense, right? Like as humans, we can pick up on bullshit when someone's lying. And I feel like in the same way, animals can pick up on that fear factor when somebody's actually afraid.
Yeah. And
because their lives depend on that. You know?
I was.
Yeah.
So that horse knew it and took advantage of it. And he told me that. He's like, the horse knew you were a little bitch, so he headbutt you. I've been headbutted, but I headbutt them back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, dude.
Yeah, right.
Right? Like, all right. But that's exactly who my uncle was.
Yeah, yeah. You could tell he'd been living with horses for a while.
That's, you know what I mean?
The
day before I left Puerto Rico, he taught me how to put a saddle on a harness.
Oh, shit.
I was like, you son of a bitch. You couldn't have taught me like 3 or 4 like spine ball sack pinches ago?
Yeah, right?
Like, you know how many times I done pinched my balls in the pregnant horse mare that you taught me because her spine's like this.
It's hard as a rock.
4 times. And I'm like,
oh, God.
And I'm loving it. And these like, there's like 12-year-olds, 8-year-olds. They're like, we would race with the locals.
What do you hold on to? Just their hair?
The hair.
Yeah.
I remember, my uncle would not let me ride a horse with anything.
Shit.
He said
That's
you
badass,
would mount the horse with the mane. You would ride the horse with the mane. You never keep your heels tight on a horse.
Yeah, seriously.
You move with it, and the hips roll, everything. You know what I mean? You just stay with it. Bro, I'm talking, they were like 8-year-olds, 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds. And they'd be like, mira, Ruben, venga, let's go.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, all right, Dean, let's go. We'd go grab the 2 fastest horses, and we'd race the locals on the street. 60 miles an hour. These horses would jump, like, mind you, they had giant speed bumps in Puerto Rico. The horses would over-exaggerate, clear the speed bumps because they're used to it.
Yeah.
So the first time I cleared a speed bump with a horse, its spine separated, and when it landed, it pinched my ball sack.
Oh!
I literally fell off of the fucking horse.
Dude!
I was like...
Does it really do that? So their vertebrae is probably so huge, it probably
when they're going, it's like... You know what I mean? And my uncle is laughing so hard. He's grabbing the horse while he's got the mane of one horse. He's chasing that horse down. He's laughing and doing all that. And I'm like... What the hell? By the end of the summer, I'm side by side with all the locals. We're fucking bareback, 60, 70 miles an hour on these fucking horses. Crazy. And then literally, we got done riding. We hosed the horses down. He goes, all right, you leaving tomorrow, right? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, I'm going to show you how to put a saddle on a harness.
Like, how about start with that, brother?
Yo,
Shit,
really?
Dude.
And he goes, but how?
You have to ride with that.
He was like, how are you going to learn how to ride the horse?
Honestly, yeah, it must have been a freaking entirely different experience riding with the saddle, and probably just that much better.
Any horse I've come across, anything, I've always wanted to ride them without a harness. And people look at me crazy, and I'm like, dog, I don't need your harness.
Ugh.
I don't.
Yeah.
But I need your horse to be in tune with the training that I had.
Yeah.
So horses are trained specific from trainer to trainer.
True.
I had a Puerto Rican trainer who did roll-ass Puerto Rican riding.
Yep.
He didn't bother with a saddle. He grabbed that horse, and the horse was like, And I'd be like, what? And he's like, grab the horse by the top of the neck and the hair and get up there.
Yeah.
And all right, so.
Shit, man. Raw
you
style.
know, you don't see that here. You will never see anybody bareback on their horse.
No.
The one time I saw somebody bareback, this one random Spanish dude rented a farm up the street from my house and was riding up and down the street bareback on his horse for like a month straight, bro. Every time I saw him, I ran out my fucking door and I was like, Wepa! I would cheer him on, and he loved it. Bro, I love it.
That sounds like a lot of fun. How old were you?
13, 14.
No shit, man.
Then the last time
that must have been one hell of an experience.
Oh, I'll never forget.
How long were you out there at a time? Like each time?
Every summer.
Oh, just for like a whole summer?
Whole summer.
No shit.
Never went out there for less than a summer, really.
That's great exposure, dude.
June to August.
And you probably picked up the language pretty well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.